You are about to enjoy an It Takes Three Network podcast. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Seems Dickens knew something about life on the Upper East Side, where the only things you can count on is that time changes everything. Word has it, S gave up politics to focus on issues closer to her heart. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Three Gossip Girls, a Gossip Girl podcast. I'm Liz.
And now Michelle.
Tonight we watched Season 3, Episode 13, The Hurt Locket. Original air date March 8th of 2010, so this is a while since we last saw our folks. It's been 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah, we last left off December, so they took their winter, spring break, and now we're into the early parts of March.
Wow.
This episode was written by Sarah Goodman, directed by Tony Warmby. Chuck tracks the woman he saw at his father's grave. Jenny agrees to help Damien. Nate and Serena get intimate. Michelle is rolling her eyes so hard in the back of her head.
Yes, I am.
Yes. This week I picked I call it a cop-out, but nonetheless delicious Glassful of gossip. I titled it The French Kiss.
Cute.
For the French ambassador's party and for Lily's reveal of a kiss. And also, I'm sure Serena and Nate were French kissing in there somewhere. So,
yeah, I'd say so.
I went to Starbucks and I picked the unsweetened iced passion tea, tango tea, I was like, just clicked on all of the fruit. So strawberries, kiwis, blackberries, dragon fruit inclusion, and strawberry puree was in there.
It was so good.
It was really good. And it was unsweetened. So like, it was like sweet, but also like kind of tart.
Yeah.
It was good.
You always have the best combinations. I go to Starbucks, I get one drink.
Yeah. And it's funny because every Thursday Michelle texts me and she goes, is it caffeinated or alcohol tonight? And I was like, I usually have an idea of what it is, but this week I was like, probably not caffeinated. And then I went home to eat real quick and I was talking with Randy and I was like, you know what? I know what the title of this is going to be, but I can't think of what the Glassful of gossip is because there's like a drink called the French Kiss with like champagne and all this stuff in it. And I'm like, I don't want to go that route. So he goes, let's Google what French like to drink. And I was like, okay. So it was coffee. And I was like, I don't want to do caffeinated because I told Michelle we're not doing caffeine tonight.
Aww.
So that's why I got the iced tea with the fruit. But it was good.
It was, like I said, it was delicious.
I'm glad you enjoyed. Gotta open up this episode with Serenade, right? Because this is what has happened. A couple of weeks have passed by. Nate and Serena are getting hot and heavy. So it opens, like I said, with Serena and Blair on the phone. Typical Serena. She's swooning over this new budding romance with Nathaniel. Apparently, he's been calling and texting her all winter break, and tonight when he gets back, they're going to go to their first official date, which will be tomorrow night, the French ambassador's dinner. They're going to go together. That's their first date. How romantic.
Okay, I did not catch that was supposed to be their first date out.
Official date, yeah.
It's weird because with Sir Nate, I don't hate this ship.
No, neither do I.
However, the whole entire episode, Liz and I
rolled our eyes so much.
We're just so annoyed with Serena and her mannerisms and how she acts. And I was saying, too, that it's really hard to feel Serena's passion, as I use air quotes, when in every other episode she's with a different person feeling the same passion.
You're absolutely right.
For the audience, I can't be happy for her because I don't know if what you're feeling is actually true. She just is a hopeless romantic.
Yes. Which, like, hey.
No, that's fine.
We're all out there, right? A lot of hopeless romantics, but she just needs to pump the brakes.
I mean, she goes from guy to guy to guy with the same exact feeling, with the same exact words. She was just with Tripp at the cottage.
Right. I mean, for when we were seeing it, it has been so, I guess, many weeks, but still that amount of love.
Same passion. Right. And then she's feeling that, gets into a car accident. Nate is there for her.
Oh, okay.
She feels the feelings from
Nate. It transferred over.
That's all it does. They're like rollover feelings that just roll over to the next guy.
It's so true. And they just keep getting more and more intense.
And like for Nate, I feel how he's feeling because it's been a minute.
Right.
He has these hookups, but the last one this season was with Brie.
Yeah, Brie was like the last girlfriend-ish type
Is
of
that right?
person. Yeah.
So to me, it's like, okay, and I know he's always had a thing for Serena.
Right. And so he's been waiting for this. And then we'll get to it. So
But
Blair,
wait, I just have one more question. Has Serena, who has Serena always pined over?
they don't really, she's always been the it girl. And
Okay.
we don't really have this, Serena's swooning over someone
Right.
that she can't have, because normally she gets whoever
And it's
she wants.
everyone.
And it's everyone, because who wouldn't want to date the it girl, blonde bombshell?
Yeah.
Everyone would.
Yeah. Right.
And she's extremely aloof, but then she's also really passionate and really sexual. And who wouldn't want that?
Yeah, of course.
And
Sure.
Blair, knowing her friend, is like, Serena, you guys gotta pump the brakes. Pump the brakes, because you guys have history together. Don't rush into this. And then, of course, we know Serena is ultimately ignoring it. She's like, yeah, ignores it. When they hang up, Serena bumps into her old pal from boarding school, Damien Dalgard,
What a
which we
small
know
world.
as the drug dealer of the season. And you can tell he has a bit of a crush on the it girl, because, again, who wouldn't? And they discuss how they'll both be at the French ambassador's dinner, and the two part ways, stating they'll catch up. But the way Serena treats us, she's like, yeah, so good to see you. Let's catch up with the phone numbers and texts. I'm just like, she seems so she's so overly happy about everything.
Like you said, she must be on happy pills this entire episode.
Be. So Serena walks into the Waldorfs where she's staying. I don't know why she's still staying there.
Well, Lily kicked her out, right?
Yeah, but then they kind of made up
true.
last
And
episode.
she got into an accident.
Yeah, I guess she wants her freedom kind of thing. But Nate is there. He has arrived early. And she's like, Nate, oh my God, what are you doing here? I was literally throwing things at the computer. I'm like, please make her stop. And they're so happy to see each other, of course. So much pent-up sexual tension. And they can't keep your hands off each other. But then Serena says, let's not rush this, but let's have sex on the floor.
And Nate's like, I agree.
I agree.
But let's have sex on the floor.
Sex on the floor. So after they're done, Nate goes to see Padgy Boy at their usual hotspot coffee cafe place, wherever that is. Dan's hoping to catch a Vanessa, but she's not there. She hasn't really been calling him, answering his texts or phone calls. It's the awkward I love you encounter. She's not handling this well, I guess. And Dan doesn't really have his friend. So Dan tells Nate about that. And then Nate is kind of like, yeah, Serena and I are cool. We're just going to feel it out. However it goes, it's not a problem. And Dan's like, but it's Serena. And also, I read all these self-help books at my mom's. And, if you're friends, you should totally be even slower at first than if you were in, this new organic relationship. And Nate's like, no, it's, Serena. And Dan's like, yeah, also, I've dated her. So I know how Serena can be. She gets completely wrapped up in this romance and the moment of it. And she doesn't like to talk about, the actual stuff, the nitty-gritty of relationships. And so he's like, you probably want to slow things down. And so you can see Nate, his wheels are turning there. And at the same time, simultaneously, Blair is having lunch with Serena, who she knows she didn't take her advice because she's has sex hair as she walks in. And so she's like, maybe you can introduce some competition into this.
I hated this.
Oh, me too.
I actually really agreed with Padge's advice.
Me too, but Blair's not so much.
No, that's how Blair would do things.
Exactly.
You need to make him jealous. You need to let him know that he can't get it when he wants it.
Yes.
And I don't know, yes, they have history. Yes, they should slow down, but not at the rate that I think they need to.
Yeah. The rate that they think they should.
Right.
They have so much history. They have been friends since they were kids. Just like Padge and Vanessa, you guys need to just navigate that.
Right.
And figure it out. But Blair says, hey, just throw someone in the mix and see if Nate gets jealous. And then he'll really, be under your control, I guess. So Serena heads to the Empire to see Nate, and she doesn't even care what Blair just said. She's like, no, let's progress into some intimate time. But however, Nate has decided to take Dan's advice, and he's trying to slow it down. He even mentions not going to the French ambassador's dinner together. Like, how is that not, like, why is that making this scenario faster than it should be?
It's not.
It's not like you guys were going to have this romantic weekend together. It's like you're going to a formal event where you shouldn't be having sex.
Right.
And
he wants to bring her. And to me, that would make sense to go out and not just stay inside and fuck.
Yes, exactly. Like, let's go out. Let's show people we're, like, together, but also we can control ourselves.
Yeah.
So he uninvites her to this dinner. This doesn't sit well with Serena. I mean, I get it. He really could have delivered this completely different.
Yeah.
Like, make her understand where he's coming from. He didn't even try to do that. He's like, we should just go back to...
And then
he says, we already saw each other today.
Yeah, what? And then he's like, we'll see each other in a few days.
A few days. And Serena's like, oh, okay. I wouldn't want to rush anything, so I'll go. And Nate doesn't even really try and stop her. He's like, Serena. And then he, like, rolls his eyes.
Yeah, like, oh,
God. It's so hard for me to go run after the elevator.
Like, you two are so dumb right now.
Yeah. So in the elevator, Serena immediately calls Damien to ask him if he has a date to the dinner. And of course, he accepts this. So at the dinner, Serena arrives with Damien. Nate sees this. Nate and Jenny end up kind of going together, which we'll get to later, but lots of petty exchanges are, happening during this scene. Serena says something, why don't you go to prom? It's down the block. Nate says, I can't believe you're dating this guy. And so the ambassador's daughter arrives. So Damien is trying to get Serena to take this jacket off, which we'll explain has pills sewn into it for this drug deal. And she doesn't want to take it off because it's so pretty. But it's so pretty. I don't want to take it off. It was a gift from you. I don't want to take off this jacket. So then Blair approaches, and she's proud that Serena took her advice to bring someone else to make Nate jealous. And Serena's like, yeah, actually, I think it's working. Because Nate does take her aside, like, I can't believe you came with this guy. And she's like, I can't believe you came with her. Like, it's Jenny. It's not like her, like another woman kind of thing.
Stepsister.
Yeah, so silly. But Damien then comes over and he pulls Serena aside and he's like, what's up with this Nate guy? And Serena just tells him flat out, yeah, I brought you here. Came with you to make him jealous. And he's like okay with it. He just wants to like go through with the deal however that's achieved. So he doesn't really care. But also he kind of still is into Serena. And so he like aggressively attempts to take this jacket off of Serena to do this transaction. And she's just really uncomfortable with it. And he still keeps trying to progress it. And she's like, I don't like you like that. Like, leave me alone. And she runs off and quickly is grabbed by Nate in the coat check closet.
Yeah.
Who apologizes for what happened. And he admits that he was scared and he thought they were moving too fast and that it wouldn't work out. And he really, really wants it to, which I appreciate.
Sure, but it's been a day. It's been a day.
Yeah. And so
one day. So
why we're getting all crazy over nothing so far.
Right.
And, you know, the two of them make up very quickly. They decide to take off all their clothes, including this jacket full of pills. So after they're done, Serena is looking for the jacket. And of course, it's missing because now it's on the ambassador's daughter. And I guess her dress was also missing too, which I didn't catch the first time I was watching this because she takes someone's pea coat and she wears that out.
What I was confused about is when her and Nate were finished and the party's over and she's like, hey, grab my clothes. And he goes, hey, your jacket's missing.
Yeah, he's like, it's not here.
But it didn't say the dress.
Right. So I was like, huh? I guess her dress was missing unless she found the dress and was just wearing a different coat. They didn't really specify.
That would be something Serena would do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to carry my dress and I'll just wear someone else's pea coat.
Right. So as they're leaving the dinner, they agree that slowing down is probably like a silly option for them. And like they just need to find this like middle ground.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what we're looking forward to. Let's talk about Cher.
Okay.
When Serena and Blair hang up, Blair notices that the locket that was left at Bart's grave is now at the Empire in a box on Chuck's dresser. So she goes over and confronts him about it, and he claims it's a worthless token probably left by one of Blair's mistresses. So he just brushes it off.
Bart's mistresses.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry, Bart's mistresses. That would be awkward, right? Blair. She reminds him of this meeting he's supposed to set up for her of the president of the Table Elitaire, which is a secret society that Blair's been trying to get on since last season when she was dating Nate. Remember that?
Yeah.
And he states he'll try and get them to meet up. And so he leaves for the day with a locket and receives a text from his PI that he found the jeweler who made said locket. So we obviously know Chuck believes more in this locket than he's leading.
Of course.
Letting Blair to believe. So he meets with the jeweler, who states that this woman came in for a repair on the locket, even though it was Bart's. And so Chuck pays him in cash to tell him the woman's name and the address, and he gets it. And it ends up her name is Elizabeth Fisher, and she paid in cash. And here's the hotel that she bought, she paid the repairs from. So after Blair's lunch with Serena, she heads back to the hotel, the Empire, dressed up as Anna Karenina. However, Chuck is not going to make it back for their little play date. And he calls her to inform her he didn't get a chance to put in the word with the president of the secret society, but don't worry, he'll be at the French ambassador's dinner, so she'll get a chance to woo him then. And she's like, how dare you ruin my social, meeting and my social status? And Chuck's like, come on, Blair.
There's more things important.
Yes. So after they hang up, Chuck asks the doorman at Elizabeth's hotel if she's returned yet. Apparently she did, but she didn't want to speak with Chuck. So already Chuck's like, oh, what the hell?
Right.
Upset. The next day, Chuck and Blair are supposed to go to the ambassador's dinner together. However, he gets a text from the PI that Elizabeth is now staying at the Algonquin Hotel. And he decides to head there instead of the dinner. And so Blair already knows what's going on, and she's upset. And she knows this is in regards to the woman and the locket, and she's mad that he lied. And so she states this woman shouldn't be trusted, and she didn't want to be found. So don't go searching. You're just going to get hurt in the end. And the way she said it was, and you're ruining my chances of getting into this
selfishly
club. Yeah, and so Chuck retaliates, saying that there are some things that are more important than your social hierarchy mission. And of course, that offends Blair, but oh well. She leaves, and you can tell he's like, oh, Blair, but he doesn't say anything. So at the dinner, Blair is trying to introduce herself to the head of the secret society, but she's interrupted then by Chuck, who comes out of the limo and cracks me up because he's like, oh, there you are. It's like she's been standing there the whole time.
And you stared right at her.
Yeah, he's like, oh, there you are. So he apologizes to Blair, and he admits that he thinks Elizabeth is his mother.
Boom.
Yes. And Blair and Chuck talk about how it's possible maybe Bart could have lied about what happened with his mother, and he was very manipulative. And he admits that he didn't really want to ruin her night with this, and he's just going to go and, sorry, I'm going to ruin your meeting. And Blair's like, oh no, I'll help you. This is more important. So finally a maturity moment with Blair.
Finally.
So the two go to the Algonquin, and they find Elizabeth at the hotel, and they flat out say, like, explain yourself. I need to know who you are. But she's like, oh, I was visiting my mother. And Chuck's like, wait, at that time of night? And she's like, yes, I just wanted to pay my respects. And he's like, but you knew my mother's flowers. And she's like, oh, well, like, I don't know who your mother is. I'm sorry. And just so many coincidences that Chuck brings up, she kind of denies and has an excuse for each one of them. And so she explains that the locket was given to her by Bart because the E is for Elizabeth, and she believes that he gave it to all of his girlfriends at this time. So you can see Chuck's face is already turning like, oh, I'm wrong.
And sorry for bothering you.
Sorry for bothering you. And he's disappointed, and he's like, okay, Blair, let's go. And so Blair says, I'll go to the bathroom. I'll meet you in the car. And she heads over right to Elizabeth. Like, don't fuck with Blair
She's all
Waldorf.
of us.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're like, no, there's more here.
Yeah. She's like, Chuck might be okay with this, excuse, but I'm not. And if you have something to say, You better say it, because how awful would it be if you knew something about his mother and he thought he killed her for 18 years, but you know something that could help him.
Right.
And so you can see Elizabeth's just like, oh, I don't know what to say. So back at home, Chuck is telling Blair how he's kind of mad at himself for allowing one of Bart's mistresses to make him question how his mother died. Totally get this.
Yeah.
And so Blair's comforting him, and she says, I'll always be your family, because at this point, Chuck is, he considers himself an orphan. I don't have a dad or a mom, and I don't have anyone to go to. And so Blair feels his pain, but she says that she'll be there for him. And Chuck gets up to leave, and we pan to his phone on the desk that says blocked number, and Elizabeth is calling him. They pan to her, and you can see she's holding the other half of the locket with her picture and a baby.
Yeah.
So you're to assume that it's her with Chuck as a baby.
Right.
Yeah, juicy stuff.
Really good stuff. Really good
I know.
stuff.
I was looking forward to that part of the episode the whole time. Okay. Now, a little dreary. We had to talk about Lufus and some Jenny and Dan moments in there. But that morning at the Vanderwoodsons, Lily is prying on Rufus's skiing trip with his bandmates to Jenny, like, when is he coming home? I forgot his itinerary. And Jenny's like, just ask, like, just call him. She's like so annoyed by it. And it's clear that Rufus has not spoken to Lily since the whole letter fiasco. Contents still unknown, sort of. And so at that moment, Damien arrives to see Jenny bearing gifts. Lily tries to parent her, takes her aside to discuss the boys in the room situation. She wants the door open, which I totally respect. And then Jenny's like, but nothing's happening. If we wanted to fuck, we would go to a hotel. And Lily's like, I
know. And she's like, it's not like that, but if it gets that way, we'll open the door.
We'll open the door. It's like, wait, what? No,
what?
I would crack this girl in her face.
Who's controlling who?
She's so disrespectful. So Lily leaves and Jenny closes the door. Damien gives her the box of cookies, and in it is macarons with pills, for her next drug deal. So he's trying to sell some drugs to the French ambassador's daughter, but he needs to figure out a way to get these to her discreetly because her security is going to be witnessing this whole thing. So Jenny comes up with a plan to recreate this coat she saw her wearing in a magazine, or like a shawl. And she says that she can recreate this, and in the buttons pretty much will be the pills. Like, extremely elaborate plan.
Also very impressed.
Extremely impressive. And like, it seems a little much to me, but whatever it takes to get this drug deal.
This is a huge deal. I wonder how much money they made from this.
Right? Probably a lot.
Yeah.
So during this time, Lily does go to the Brooklyn loft to see if Rufus has returned, but she ends up bumping into Daniel, and he's like sensing something is up here. And we do have a really quick scene of Lily calling Rufus where Rufus completely ignores her phone call. So outside the building, Rufus is walking around like debating whether or not he should go into the Vanderwoodson house to talk to Lily, but he's just not ready to do that. And he bumps into Holland walking her dog, and the two of them decide to get a cup of coffee again together. He keeps meeting up with this girl.
Mm-hmm.
So the next day, Dan and Rufus are eating waffles at the Brooklyn loft, and Dan's like, why are you here? Your wife doesn't live here, and I can sense something is up with you guys. And it's like, I feel like sometimes when Padge is on the screen, it's like an after-school special, because he's always like giving these lessons of like, take your own advice, Dad.
Right.
Don't do assumptions. And like, all these lessons have to be learned. I feel like Padge is like the only one that like presents these lessons. I can't explain
For sure.
it. Yeah. So during that time, Damien and Jenny are putting the final touches together on the drug coat. However, Jenny won't be in on this deal because he's going to take Serena instead. As we know, she invited herself to the party. So Jenny's pissed, saying that Serena isn't the same girl that he remembers from boarding school. She isn't that loose anymore, apparently. And there's no way she would agree to wear this jacket. And so Damien says, well, I'm just not going to tell her then.
Yeah. And then, and Jenny was like, well, what if I tell her?
And he's like, well, I'm just going to have to tell Serena then how you know about the coat.
So then, okay, that statement right there, I'm like, okay, and?
right? I mean, what's Serena going to be like, I'm going to get Jenny in trouble because she's dealing drugs?
But like then Jenny could say, well, Damien's in on this too. I don't know.
I know. Silly.
And also an idiot.
It's a whole other headache bringing Serena into this because now Serena doesn't know about the coat. And so your attempts of being super creepy trying to get it off of her is awkward.
And also saying, oh, this is a gift for you.
Right. Why would she take it off? And why would she try and make out with you in front of everyone at this
And what were you
dinner?
going to explain at the end of the night when her jacket that the gift is gone?
Is missing. Yeah. And I thought like maybe the ambassador's daughter would have worn the same coat.
That's what I thought. And it'd be like a switch.
And they would switch it. But they don't show that. So that would have made more sense to me.
I also was thinking that.
Yeah. As we said, Damien claims he'll tell Serena if Jenny gets involved. And so Jenny has to make her way to this dinner. She meets Nate outside. He doesn't even know she's going. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to be your date now because, you know, I need to get in there.
And also, you've helped me.
And you've helped me, like her little eyes. You've helped me, so I'll help you. Damien has had his failed attempts of trying to get this coat off Serena, and he promises Jenny that he'll get this coat off Serena however way he needs to. Like, the Serena I knew, like, it wasn't hard to get her out of clothes. Nasty, creepy shit.
Yeah.
As we know, the deal doesn't really go through. And his aggressive behavior just pissed off Serena and she walks away. And so Damien ends up leaving without the deal because Serena wouldn't take the jacket off. But as Serena and Nate are like hooking up in the closet, Jenny sees the coat on the floor and she pretty much like seals the deal. She's like, you got to pick that coat up. It's the ambassador's daughter's coat. She'll be furious if it's on the floor. And like, that's it. Seals the deal so that the woman can go and take home this jacket. After that, he's like, all right, let's go catch a cab. And she's like, no. If you want to have a date, you just need to ask. You maybe ask me first. No, Jenny, come on.
I'm fine,
He's
honestly.
So grimy.
If they're drug buddies.
Right, but not fuck buddies.
Don't be date buddies.
No.
I don't want you guys to date.
Yeah, I don't like it either. So you see Violette leaving with the jacket on, and we know that the deal is done. So to sum up the Lily and Rufus arrives at the penthouse to talk to Lily, and he's like, no bullshit. Tell me what happened now and what happened with your ex. And so Lily states she did not sleep with him. However, she did kiss her ex, but it meant nothing. And at that point, they were engaged, and Rufus says, well, that meant something to me. We were engaged, and now I need some time to really figure this out away from you.
Right. But the whole reason she's saying she went to go see him is because Cece was sick, and he's a doctor. Okay.
I don't like it.
I don't like it, and I don't buy it because
it doesn't. Why would you need to keep that as a secret?
But also, why would you talk to your ex who you haven't talked to?
Right. As far as we're concerned, they have had no relationship since their children, since they've been divorced and, since the start of the show.
You're wealthy. You live in New York. You have access to the best doctors around.
Exactly.
This doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense. So to the audience, you're like, wait, all this hype over that's so silly.
Right.
And Rufus is obviously very upset and pissed off. He leaves, and instead of leaving the building, he ends up pressing the floor of Holland's apartment. And he goes in and, they close the door.
They have coffee, in my opinion.
Hopefully they have coffee. And really, just to sum up Dan, just to throw him in there, he ends up leaving Vanessa a voicemail. I need my friend. My parents are going through a rough time. And he leaves her the message because she's not calling him back.
Yeah.
And that is the summary for this episode. Yeah. Serenade has started. No,
see how long it lasts.
Yeah. Rufus is in turmoil, and Jenny is still a drug dealer. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with your segments.
Hey, Christy, what do we talk about on our podcast?
Well, Ashley, we talk about all kinds of weird stuff.
like aliens
And ghosts.
and cults
And cryptids.
and witches.
And murders.
Yeah, even sometimes murders. Basically, we talk about all kinds of weird shit.
Oh, I already said that.
Oh.
So yeah, if you like weird topics, feminist rants, and the occasional F-bomb, you should listen to us.
We post new episodes every other Weird Wednesday.
Find us online at that'sweird.org.
Listen to That's Weird on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts, and follow us on social media at That's Weirdcast.
Welcome back from break. Going to start out with our trivia. The episode is based off the movie The Hurt Locker. Is that Sandra Bullock? And it's like the football. Maybe I'm thinking, oh, that's The Blind Side. I'm not even close.
No.
The Hurt Locker. It's a football movie, right?
I have no idea. Does that have Josh Hartnett in it?
Oh, does it?
And I've never seen it, but for some reason, that's what's coming to me at
The
this
Hurt
point.
Locker. It is...
Where is Josh
No,
Hartnett?
it's Jeremy Renner, Anthony Mackie, Brian Garrity. Oh, it's like a war movie?
That sounds...
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's a war movie, and that would be why I don't see it, because those are usually sad, and I don't watch sad movies.
Yeah, I know.
Holland lives on the 24th floor of the Vanderwoodson building. This is from the wiki page. The Hurt Locket received mixed reviews. What a shock. With Leighton Meester's performance receiving critical acclaim. Isabel Carew of the TV Squad praised Meester's performance, praising her decision to stand by Chuck and throwing away her chance to meet the French ambassador. That wasn't the French ambassador, though. That was just like the table à la terre president. Anyway, Enid Portuguese from the Los Angeles Times cited Blair's maturity in the episode when she did not believe Elizabeth's lies. Portuguese further praised the episode, stating, when contrasted with the vulnerability that they show each other privately, we truly see why they're the show's most compelling relationship, in reference to Cher. Referencing Chuck and Blair as the power couple of the show. I mean, I guess right now, being that there's not really couples here.
Yeah.
Jennifer Sankoski from the TV Guide enjoyed the fact that this show's writer finally put Serena and Nate as a couple by saying that the two of them were adorably giddy in this episode. Also, LJ Gibbs from TV Fanatic gave the episode a 3.5 out of 5 stars, and Jacob from the Television Without Pity gave the episode a C rating.
That's what I give it.
Yeah. Music in this episode, Map of the World by Monsters of Folk, Crystallized by the XX, Janglin by Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros, Wild Wolves by Athlete, At Star with the Sun by The Big Pink, Spirit Horse by Seawolf, and Downtown Jail by Bikini Machine. Okay, here's the good part of the episode, their questions and comments. Going to start over on Instagram, Mike at Del_Vasto states, such a nice surprise to hear Shanna on the podcast last week. So sweet. He said she's allowed to come back for the finale. He approves. It's a different month. I'm like,
okay.
Oh, we'll see.
Okay.
His questions. Michelle, what do you think happened between Rufus and Holland at the end? Do you think he would revenge cheat on Lily?
I don't.
Okay.
Because I'm not putting down any kind of cheat and saying one is worse over the other.
Totally.
But they were engaged. She had a kiss with her ex-husband. Now they're officially married. I don't think he would sleep with another woman.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe he would have a kiss. I'm not sure. I think it's a lot of emotional cheating at this point.
Yeah.
Conversations, coffee, maybe wine.
Yes, probably lots of wine. Rufus needs it at this point. He also asked, do you believe this mysterious woman to be Chuck's mom? Why do you think she was calling him at the end?
Yeah. Either I'm still going to go with, oh man, it could be mom or an aunt or a nanny or something. Where
that could make sense.
Yeah.
Like someone who was around when he was a baby.
Like there's more to the story here and she's going to fill it in.
Right. Or hey, this could be a completely different baby. You know?
That could be too. Or this
we don't know what Chuck looks like as a baby, but yeah.
Imagine if they're like twins and there's a brother and
Ooh, I get goosebumps.
Yeah. Something there, obviously. I'm glad we're not dropping this.
Yes. No, I can confirm
I
she's
said
not on
during
the island.
this episode, I was like, I'm not even going to get excited because Liz is just going to tell me she's on the island.
No,
and
she
that'll
is
be that.
not on the island.
Okay, good.
Tish at Letitia_Dominique states she is most excited for Chuck's storyline this episode and was convinced that Elizabeth wasn't his mother until the ending twist. She had the other half of the locket.
Right.
Tish hates how Jenny is still involved in the drug storyline. She predicts a very bad turn there. While she is a huge fan of Serenade, she felt they rushed this relationship a bit and she wishes there was more of a build-up. I feel like either way it was going to be annoying.
Same.
You know? I like them as a couple. They make sense to me, but I don't know. Something with the way they presented it in the beginning just
Yeah, same.
not the greatest. She wanted so badly for Lufus to reconcile. The way people talked about the letter made Tish think that Lily slept with her ex. They just kissed, and while she doesn't condone cheating, they really hype that up for a kiss.
They do.
They do. She gives this episode 2 out of 3 glasses of gossip. Her question, how many episodes do you think Damien will be on?
3 more.
16? Episode 16?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jess at Mrs. Boquist states, once again, Serena dives into another relationship and they're already playing games.
Here we go. Exactly.
Not necessary.
So annoying.
Her question, why do you think Elizabeth is being so secretive?
Wow. I mean, when you have a secret, you're secretive, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't want the truth to come out. There's a reason why whatever she's having and holding on to was not supposed to come out.
Mm-hmm.
She was not supposed to be caught.
Yeah.
So,
And she was.
Yeah.
Well, she's caught in something. We just don't know what.
right.
Rihanna at Reese Simpson 13. Along the lines of trip being a triple, Trey is also used for triple as well. So does that mean that Trey Atwood, their father's name is Frank, he would be Frank, and then their grandfather's name is Frank? I'm just going to OC reference here. Probably not. Unless
Probably not,
he is
because-
the oldest, though. He's older than Ryan.
Right. But I feel like it would have came out. It would have been like, he's
His
Frank.
name is Frank, yeah. Just a
Yeah.
thought. But they do use Trey as a form of triple, too. So,
Wow. And going off
I mean, it
of,
makes sense. Like the Trey, like TRE, that
Right.
abbreviation.
And going off of the OC reference, I was saying this when we were watching this week. We discussed the French Connection on the OC.
I know.
And now with the French ambassador,
These shows,
Henri.
Henri
Same name.
was in there. It just like always this coincidence of them lining up with like plots
I
and
know.
words and
For
things.
us,
Just weird
yeah.
for us. Why is she not surprised that Serena knows drug dealing Damien? No one was surprised. She's here for the serenade moment, but hated the back and forth in this episode. We could agree to that. She's very fascinated by this Chuck storyline.
Yeah, I mean, this is driving it.
Yeah. Rihanna wants Rufus to pick another friend to vent to because this whole Holland thing is making her very nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Vic at Muse Chick says, Serena is so in love with Carter. I mean Nate. She's not a fan of Serenade being that it's girl code not to date a friend's ex, even though Blair is okay with it. She didn't want to hear about her ex banging someone, so she doesn't know how Chuck, Dan, Blair, and Nate are all okay with this. I agree. It's awkward for Nate to talk about Serena and for Blair to talk about Nate. It's all weird. But hey, our circle makes it work, right?
We do. I mean, we
Somehow.
have. Yeah, I know.
So, you just gotta just surround like the
Something
circle.
that just works.
Yeah.
And accepted.
Totally. She hates a petty Serena. When she doesn't get what she wants, she acts out. Her questions: do you think Chuck's mom will leave a voicemail, or she'll go looking for him?
Go looking for him.
Do you see something happening between Damien and Jenny?
Ugh. I really don't want it to happen.
Yeah.
And I
same.
can actually see her trying to get, because she's like, well, you have to take me on a date or make it an official date. And I
Right.
could see him being like, no.
Right, because she's 16, right? She had her sweet 16, or she sure turned 15 last season. I want to say
can't
she was
remember.
six. I want to say she's 16, and yeah, because they're 19 now. So he's 19. He's college age. She's still in high school. I don't understand why he would be interested. Not that you can't obviously date someone who's younger than you, but like they clearly...
Yeah, but these kids are so different than us.
I know.
And the hierarchy, she goes to Constance and she is head B.
Yeah.
And now she's in this drug ring circle situation.
Yeah, and plus it's like circumstantial where they are in the same biz.
Right.
So like you see someone differently, I guess.
Yeah.
In that way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't want it to happen.
No,
but
I don't
I could
either.
understand if it would.
Right.
We have an email from Will giving his thoughts on last week's episode. He said, Trip can get all the way out of here with that hat. Also, he's a piece of shit. Maureen is queen now and forever. Serena has great taste in boys, horrible taste in men. Love that.
That is
so
so
true.
good, Will.
Yeah, I love that. Jenny is beginning to spiral, feeling bad for Rufus, and he agrees with both of us that Lily is a favorite, but he really hated her last episode. She just lies and lies and lies and thinks it's acceptable. Somehow Cece is the only moral compass of that family. So William also sent his questions and comments for this week. He said, "Hey ladies, this week was a decent episode." He said he was disappointed that the Rufus and Lily conflict lasted about a minute until Rufus left for the 24th floor. Rufus has a tendency to need time and run from things, which is annoying, but this dude keeps getting cheated on, so I get it.
Yeah.
Rufus seems like this show's doormat. Poor Rufy. I could agree to that. I feel like as much as he has a backbone, he always kind of just ends up doing like whatever anyone else wants him to do, which is hard. He's like, can we confirm that she's Chuck's mother, right? The storyline is definitely not over with Elizabeth. Jenny is dancing with the devil in step for now. Serena and Nate are so bleh for me right now. The code check isn't even scandalous, rolling around in all that lint. Nate needs some character development soon. He's been really stagnant this season. The only time he's really rooted for him is when he gives Dan the sage advice on women juggling, trying to be with Vanessa. Speaking of, we need this Dan-Vanessa storyline to come to a roost. I felt this episode as a whole just extended the whole storylines with no real improvement besides the Rufus part. I could agree to that. And last, he said he's tired of Blair trying to grasp for something to hold on by trying to leech off of every social club or young European emissary in sight. Her getting a job at a burger joint would be a better look on her than this desperation. Or the show should focus more on her NYU connections and the minions. She's just a supportive character to Chuck right now. It doesn't look good on her. Although that Anna Karenina outfit, I'm still sweating. Prediction question. When will Vanessa finally realize how Dan feels, and when will Dan stop moping?
Well, I'm curious to know if after what he said, right? It's been 3 months.
Yeah.
In our world and their world?
No, not in their world.
Okay, because that's...
It's only been like after it's like probably New Year's, so, you know, like into the beginning of the year.
So I'm wondering if Had just took it all back and was like, oh man, I'm sorry. Like I got caught up in emotions. Like I love you like a friend, like a sister, but like we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
So, and then I would like to see her response to that. Or
Right.
if he was like, no, I really feel like I feel something for you. And she's like, I can't deal. You're my bro.
Right.
So I need to see them discuss this.
Yes.
And
They will.
And she's with Paul, right?
Paul, yes.
Yeah.
Well, Mopey confused lonely boy Dan is much less fun than three-way porno Sag Dan. XOXO Will. Thank you,
Agreed
Will.
to that, actually. I mean, as much as I don't want to see the threesome, Padge as a party boy was a nice
it's a fun change for that character.
Now he's just mopey over a girl again. You're like, damn, Padge.
So true. Yeah. Thank you, Will. Thank you to everyone who sent their questions and comments. It's my favorite part
The
of the
best
episode.
part. Thank you.
All right. Going into fashion and headbands, I had 0.
I had 0 as well.
Didn't see any this episode. If you guys caught one, let us know.
Yeah.
I loved Serena's light blue coat in the beginning with the cream turtleneck. It had like these metal things. Oh, just looks so good. I wonder if Sean had issues with her gloves. Though.
I know. Hey, Shawnee, every time I see
It
gloves.
was winter though.
I'm like, ooh, I wonder how Sean's feeling about this.
Same.
I liked Blair's black dress that she wore in the beginning.
Yes, with the sparkle.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked Jenny's purple plaid, like long, grungy shirt. I mean,
Yeah.
I know she wears these a lot, but just the color in particular looked nice.
I liked Rufy's red scarf, the plaid scarf.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the Anna Karenina lingerie. I was like, those butt cheeks are so cute. Yes, Leighton has a cute butt.
Yeah, no, she totally does. I liked Jenny's outfit, actually, at the ambassador dinner.
It was interesting.
And her eyeshadow.
I love the eyeshadow. We said we weren't a fan of that very baby pink lip, but
No,
the
it was
eyeshadow
okay. Yeah.
was beautiful. I actually liked when she was getting ready trying on the jacket. She was wearing this like very tight black not pixie skirt. Like, yeah,
Pencil
like a
skirt?
pencil skirt. Thank you. Where
Yeah.
it had like the studs all on it.
Yeah.
I liked that.
Lily's white sweater.
The cream with the bow.
So good.
I loved that. And Serena's black dress at the event. I thought she looked
Oh, she
amazing.
looked great. Oh,
Not,
and also-
not the coat. I'm not a fan of that
No,
look.
I didn't like that coat either. But I did like Chuck's. He had like a crushed velvet blazer.
Yes, very nice. Quotes. You know how torturous it is for me to find shiny trinkets that aren't intended for me.
Sexting is not sweet. It's off limits until you're in a relationship.
Looks like S just started the clock on a ticking time bomb.
Everyone needs to play games.
Israeli-Palestinian complicated?
Some things are more important than your social climbing agenda. Can't even read my own handwriting.
All the girls are going to want to wear pharmaceuticals.
That was a good one. I don't have it verbatim, but Hadge said it. I hope you're not going to let your marriage die because you don't want to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it's very true,
Yeah.
Hadge.
I think you're at the wrong place. Prom is down the street. I love when Blair says to Elizabeth, I originated that doe-eyed stare.
It's so good.
I think that whore might be my mother, Chuck says. And then I love, you don't need Chuck. Anyone who meets you sees you're an elite snob who is perfect to run a secret society. Jess also liked that quote.
That was really good.
All right. MVP and shittiest.
Yes.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Not thrilled with my MVP, but, you know.
This is the only one that made sense to me.
Okay, I bet I know who it is.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, Blair.
Jenny.
Oh, that's not who I thought you were going to say at all. I thought you were going to say Padge. Jenny. Okay, she like
Jenny.
one-upped him?
Because Jenny, well, first off, Damien goes to him because he's like, you Humphreys like to solve puzzles.
Yeah.
And Jenny is extremely talented. We got to give her that.
Very.
We didn't like the jacket, but she recreated it. She came up with the idea of how to smuggle the drugs in.
Yep.
So that right there, I'm like, MVP girl.
Yeah.
Like you were given
She's a
a
hustler.
task. You did it. And then you showed up even though he told you couldn't be invited or I can't go with you. And she was
Right.
like, fuck that. I will show up and show my place. And then she has saved the whole deal to happen because she's quick on her
She
feet.
did.
And
She is.
eyes everywhere.
Yeah, I think that's a great answer. I copped out and picked Blair. I didn't really love her until mostly the end of the
No,
episode.
I agree with that.
But Mike, Tish, Jess, Rihanna, and Vic also picked Blair because she put Chuck's needs over hers eventually in the end. So
And also she went up to that woman and made her crack.
yes,
So
yeah, she made Elizabeth question something where she picked up the phone to
Yeah.
call Chuck. So
yeah.
all right, shittiest.
Yes.
3, 2,
2,
1,
1,
Damien.
Damien.
Yeah. Consensus is Damien. Mike, Tish, Jess, Rihanna all picked Damien for dropping Jenny on their plan that she came up with, and then the way he handled Serena.
Right.
And a blue ribbon goes to Jenny for being involved with drugs. That was Mike's. And Vic picked Lily for kissing another man. It's a good one, too.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Patron of the week.
Yay!
It's patron of the week.
Patron of the week. It's patron of the week.
Who will it be?
It's patron of the week.
This week I picked one of our sweetest little cutie pies,
Aw.
Chloe. She's from the UK. She's awesome. You guys should go follow her on Instagram. Chloe Harrods Creates. She makes these awesome headbands and hair scrunchies and masks if you guys are interested. We collabed with her last month to do a Gossip Girl themed giveaway. Blair and Serena BFF type deal.
So cute.
We loved partnering with her, and congrats to Vic who won that. She's one of our patrons. You guys know Muse Chick, I mean, by now, right? So we were really happy to give it to one of our own patrons. And if you guys are interested in getting, entering giveaways, follow It Takes Three Network on Instagram. We post one each month. This month, we are giving away a binge watching candle that is apple cider donut scented, not flavored. Last week I called it flavored. You can't eat a candle.
I almost didn't set it on OC too. You can hear me say full scented.
That giveaway will go live on September 22nd. So keep an eye out for that. Okay, it's the time of the night where I give you the title for next week, my 3 gossip words. Next week, we have a guest patron. Ooh. So excited. So congrats to whoever won that. I'll announce it next week. But we are very excited to have one of our patrons on next week's episode. So the title for Season 3, Episode 14 is The Lady Vanished. My 3 gossip words are
3 gossip words.
Friend, connection, grounded.
Ooh.
Ooh, baby.
Grounded.
Sienna slowly goes, ooh.
Okay, so I think this has to do with Elizabeth. And now I'm thinking that perhaps she is a friend of the family, and that's the connection to Bart.
Okay.
And maybe she was a caregiver. And that's why there's a picture of her and
Chuck as a
why
baby.
would Bart be in there, though? That is weird. Like if the mother died at childbirth, like who raised Chuck?
Right. I mean, Bart did.
Yeah, but there was no nanny.
I was going to say, it's very possible that he had a nanny. We just haven't. Well, he said he had an au pair, didn't he, at the beginning? I don't want to say too much, but...
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if it was his mom, it could be exciting because then we're bringing another character that is for Chuck.
Right, and the biological one where he hasn't had that parental figure.
But also, at this point, that's not really a fun twist right now if we've just figured that out.
Right, that's true.
So as a caregiver or aunt or au pair or nanny figure, a friend of the family, that could work. And then she would have the background to that.
Yeah, she would. That's a good guess.
Yeah. If it is the mom, I'm not upset about it.
Right. Either way, I feel like it's win-win, right?
Yeah.
Still find out a little bit.
Grounded, that could go 2 ways. Either someone is literally grounded, but are these kids grounded? The only one to be grounded would be Jenny. Or who's grounded and flight can't take off, which could lead to that woman who's trying to vanish. The other thing, too, with friend could be Holland, could be the friend. And her and Rufus have a strong connection.
Yeah, friend is a very broad term next week.
So that could also be it. And then I'm thinking Vanessa's going to come back at some point and be the good friend after she gets the phone call from
I can confirm
Patch.
she is in next episode.
She is.
Yeah, it's been 2 since we've seen her, so...
Has it been
right?
2?
No, we saw her. We saw her last week. It was
dropped the
so
L-bomb,
brief. It was so brief that I forgot she was even there.
Right. So that's what I think. I think she's going to come back. She's going to be the good friend. I think Holland will also be the friend, but Rufus feels a connection with her.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think Padge and Vanessa have to talk about their connection. The grounded thing is what's getting me. Either something's grounded or someone is a grounded soul. You know what I mean?
Yes, like someone's grounded in their,
they have their shit together.
Characteristic. Yeah. I like that too.
Yeah.
All right. Good predictions. Good predictions.
Can't wait to see what happens.
Who do you predict to be Gossip Girl?
Every week, as I say. It's really tough. Padge.
Okay.
Yeah. With
the advice?
You know what's really tough with picking Padge is I've listened to interviews with Padge Bentley.
Yeah.
And as I'm like struggling to actually think of his actual
Right.
name.
Me too. I have to actually pen badge.
It's not. See, that's the thing. It's Padge Bentley. Okay, so as I'm listening, I've listened to a couple of interviews with Padge Bentley, and when he talks about Gossip Girl, it's never spoilery, but I always think if he was Gossip Girl, wouldn't they bring that up?
Oh, like in interviews, you mean?
Yeah. Be like, wow, you were on Gossip Girl for so long. You played this character. What was that like? And also like the fact that you were Gossip Girl. And I'm like, why wouldn't they? I'm just thinking of the one particular episode I listened to on Justin Long. And they talked a good deal about Gossip Girl. Nothing, again, but just him playing this role. So I'm like, why wouldn't they say, oh, and the big twist is you were Gossip Girl?
Right.
I mean, that would suck for me.
That would suck for you.
That's why it's like I can't pick him. Because deep down, I feel like it's really not him.
Okay.
But I'm also feeling like Jenny is just way too busy doing her things.
Yeah.
Blair, I feel, just can't be bothered. Serena, she's such in La La Land.
She really is.
And then I feel like I'm out of characters.
Right. You know, actually, Jillian, she posted on Patreon today, following up with what we were talking about last week, how my sister said she didn't believe them to know who Gossip Girl was when they started. And Jillian said that they always knew who it was. And there was even a scene in the first episode that they completely deleted because it gave it away.
No way.
Yeah, I'll have to confirm that, but that's what she said. And I was like, bullshit. Bullshit, mama.
Really?
So I love that juiciness. Makes me wonder, though. I have so many questions to that. Then know.
Me too.
But one day you will know.
And I just feel and I
what I know.
I know, same, right? And Chuck, I can't pick Chuck because he's just not in the right state to be. What?
Sorry, William actually sent me, and he sent it at 8:05, and I didn't see it, an email of the question. So I'll read it when we're done with this.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I cannot pick Chuck because I feel he's not emotionally in the state, and he's evolving very nicely.
He's so far beyond that.
So why would he give a shit about this? So for funsies, I'm just gonna go with Padge because he was in the background a lot, and
Okay.
he's involved. It's a shitty answer, but that's what I'm doing.
Okay. I get it. It's hard,
I know.
Well, that's all we have for this week's episode. Thank you so much to everyone who sent questions and comments. Thank you to you guys listening every single week. If you are listening and you're an Apple Podcast user, please consider writing a review on iTunes, maybe rating us 5 stars. That really helps the show out a lot. Hopefully more Gossip Girl loving people will find our podcast now.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to join our Patreon family, maybe you want to get in that guest spot next time we offer it, head over to ittakes3network.com and you can join our little Patreon family. It's a blast over there. Everyone's so sweet. Unfortunately, we didn't get to have a Netflix party tonight. I don't know what was happening with the Netflix party plugin, but nobody can log on. So we really missed you guys. But Michelle and I, we partied on and watched the episode together while eating chips and having our drinks.
We'll figure it out for next week, though.
Yeah, we will. So stay tuned until next week. Can't wait to have our patron guest spot on there. So we're looking forward to it. You know you love us.
XOXO.
Gossip Girls.